In this demo, we're going to take a look at how Jitterbit's complete iPaaS platform can intelligently connect Salesforce to all of your various clouds with a full integration platform on one side and a full API platform on the other. Now, in our previous demo, we took a look at a sales and service company called JitterPools, a pool sales and service company that goes out there and installs IoT monitoring devices and installs pools and services those pools and sells the equipment for the pools. Now, we looked at the sales side of this previously. In this demo, we're going to focus more on the service side. Now, like we said, a lot of companies out there today, they're embracing many different cloud technologies. And one of those out there that a lot of people are starting to use more and more is Twitter. You know, your customers, they're not always going to use the sanctioned support channels of emailing. Support at JitterPools, for instance. They're not going to call the 1-800 number all the time. They're going to go out on social media, they're going to start complaining, and they want to see things done. So we could either try to mitigate that, or we could simply embrace it. Now, in this particular scenario, the company has already been using Salesforce to manage their support queues. And here's one we have as response queue. Now, we've set this up to really embrace those social media posts that are going to come out. And you know what? We just want to respond to keep our customers engaged. Now, to do this, we need to integrate Twitter over into our Salesforce instance. And we've got that taken care of here by the Jitterbit integration platform. But we also, as I said, have an API platform that we can use to do all sorts of really cool IoT devices, such as one of the latest and greatest that we see out there today is the Amazon Alexa devices. The Echo Dot's what we're using today. So we're just going to come in here and say, Alexa, ask Jitterbit to send me my tweets.
Sure. Your operation has been submitted to Jitterbit. You should see any updated case records shortly.
Okay, so Alexa called out to Jitterbit. Now that operation, typically it would be set up on a schedule, but just to give you an idea of some of the cool things that can happen out there. Well, let's go ahead and refresh and see if we have any cases out here. So we've got one that's come in. We see it's a tweet that's come in from Rick Levins. It says, JitterPools is amazing. We want to be able to respond back to that, and this is where we're going to start to embrace the Jitterbit API platform for real-time connectivity. So here we'll go into the individual tweet that came in for this case. Heck, we can even come in here to the tweet link and see this right over there in Twitter. And we could respond here, but you know, we want to keep everything consolidated back into our sanctioned platform, at least, of Salesforce. We also, as we move this over, we're infusing artificial intelligence from Watson. And that's how we know that this simply needs to go to the response queue and not the escalation queue. But more on that in a few minutes. Let's go ahead and respond. We're just going to come down here and say, thanks so much. We love our customers. There we go. Okay, and we'll send this out in a reply. Now this is going and hitting a Jitterbit API, and once we hit that API, we're going back and doing the post over into Twitter. So let's go take a look over here, and we'll refresh on this, and we see there, hey, that's our reply on the Twitter side. So all nice and neat. We can even refresh here on this tweet, and we can see anything related. We say, hey, you know what? This is good. There's our reply that we sent back, and we can go back to our case and close that out of our response queue. And so we're just going to come over here to our status, change this over to closed. That's all good. We're going to save it, and that one's done. Now from here, let's switch over into our escalation queue. Now the escalation queue, this is based on that Watson artificial intelligence infusion that Jitterbit is doing behind the scenes as we're pulling the tweets over, going and connecting into those Watson APIs, feeding this in, and getting that data back. Okay, and that's going to tell us, hey, if somebody is upset, we want to take this to escalation. We don't just want our social media manager responding to that. We want one of our actual service people taking care of this. We want to get it taken care of as quickly as possible. So let's go see if we have anything out there. Alexa, ask Jitterbit to send me my tweets.
Sure. Your operation has been submitted to Jitterbit. You should see any updated case records shortly.
Okay, so let's start to refresh and see if they've made it over yet. And here we have one. Now, this is interesting because this is going to show us another side of the Jitterbit integration platform, again, leveraging APIs. Because in this one, it's gone into the escalation queue, and we can see the tweet here. So let's go take a look. And they're complaining here, no show from Jitterpool's seriously awful service. And we've got the tweet link out here. Again, we can go see it out there that this particular person, they seem pretty upset, and Watson agrees. Okay, so this is an angry sentiment analysis, and we can see that right down here that we're about 63% sure that this person is angry. Now, we could go ahead and respond, but we don't want to just respond on social here. What we're going to do is we're going to step back into the case. And from the case, we're going to get some information. So we're going to go over to the account. Now, this account is naval-based dive pools where they do some dive training. But we've put out there in this particular customer an IOT monitoring device. It goes out there, it floats in the pool skimmer, and it feeds us back data. Every hour, it's sending data into Jitterbit APIs, and we're aggregating that data into a custom backend database. Here we can see the IoT monitoring device. And down here, what we're seeing in this related list, this is a Salesforce Connect real-time OData lookup back into our backend database. Now, this is really cool because this data doesn't live inside of Salesforce. Jitterbit is exposing this as an OData service that Salesforce can consume in real time. Now, we can go down here and view all, take a look at the details of this customer's pool. They're complaining that we didn't show for a scheduled service. The difference here, though, is because we have real-time monitoring that says, hey, our pH level, it's really good. It's in a great range. Our free chlorine, it's great. Salt level, great. The only thing we see with this is, hey, that water temperature is a little bit low. You may want to consider purchasing a heater from us. But other than that, everything's great. And this is how we schedule our service. We don't go out every week on Friday at noon to service this pool. We actively monitor it. And if it needs service 3 days in a row, we go out 3 days in a row. If it doesn't need service for 3 weeks, we don't go out for 3 weeks. So we're thinking that this particular customer, based on their tweet, they probably don't really grasp our service model. So we reach out. We call up the customer and say, hey, we noticed your tweet out there. We want to talk to you, see what's going on, and want to explain our service model. They come back, they say, you know what? I didn't understand that that's how you guys worked. My boss told me you were supposed to be here on Friday, and the pools are looking great. We don't see any issue with the pool. We just thought you were supposed to be here. Total miscommunication. And now this person might go back out to Twitter and might respond and say, hey, sorry for the miscommunication, but let's go take a look. And so what we'll do, we'll go back over to that case. Let's see, we'll just come into cases and we'll go back into this. No show from Jitterpools. This was it right here. And let's ask Alexa to update this. Again, this could be set on a very aggressive schedule. It could be set up on real time as soon as Twitter releases their webhooks API, but it's still in beta today. But let's see. Alexa, ask Jitterbit to send me my tweets.
Sure. Your operation has been submitted to Jitterbit. You should see any updated case records shortly.
Perfect. So that's going out there and grabbing any new tweets and bringing these back. Let's just refresh the case. And here we go. So there's our tweet. Let's take a look at that secondary tweet. First of all, look now at that Watson sentiment. Joy. We see now, hey, this customer is happy. Let's take a look at what they actually said. Jitterpools, thanks for following up. Sorry for any confusion. You really are a great company. Well, let's make sure we reply to this, and we could put this back into the standard queue at this point, let them respond to it. But let's just go ahead and respond. Thanks. We love our customers. There we go. And we'll reply back to that and sending again that real-time tweet over. And let's go take a look now at that full Twitter feed over here. And so there we have it. All of this coming back using Jitterbit's integration platform, using Jitterbit's API side of the integration platform to enable these different IoT devices. I said at the beginning, we did the sales demo previously. If you haven't seen that, come back. We're going to show that how we integrate into ERPs like NetSuite or even systems like SAP, Oracle EBS. It doesn't matter what system you have out there, using Jitterbit to intelligently connect Salesforce to all of of your various clouds, infusing artificial intelligence along the way.